Hello friends and welcome to my channel. This is something a couple friends of mine had suggested I do for my YouTube channel. I do this every week on my Facebook page, but I wasn't doing it here. I felt I would just keep it for my friends, especially since I try and keep my YouTube videos no longer than 12 minutes. Sometimes I fail at that. It's what I've been watching. It's basically the movies I've been watching during the week, if I get a chance to watch a movie, or the weekend, or basically overall what I've been watching for maybe the month. But I try and do it on a weekly basis. And if it's a new disc that just comes out as well, I do a brief review of it as well. Kind of give everything in one shot. Some of the ones that I posted on Facebook, I'm going to try and post on YouTube as well. Some of the ones I did a few weeks ago. But like I told a lot of my friends on Facebook, one of the positive things with this pandemic that's been going on is I've been able to watch a lot of movies, and I have a lot of movies. This right behind me is only, not even. I have more in my closet, in my closet area. I have some over here, some in our living room. I'm running out of room, along with my CDs and vinyl. I'm running out of room. But I've been watching a lot of things that I haven't watched in a long time. Normally I go to my safe spots. Scorsese, Spielberg, and the same ones over and over and over again, to the point where I know them. A lot of great films. I got caught up and watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid a couple months ago. Hadn't watched Butch and Sundance in ages. So this is me, what I've been watching during this time. And I'm probably going to be doing a lot more watching too, because even though AMC announced that they are reopening, I don't know how they're going to do it. I saw their safety plan. I don't trust it right now, especially where I live in Arizona. It's starting to spike up there again, and it's telling that the local chain that we have here, the local chain Harkins, which is based in Scottsdale, Arizona, has not made the announcement that they're opening. All the other big major chains have. Harkins hasn't. So, anyways, let's get started here. So, first thing I have here, this just came out last week, and I was very excited about this. For us Beatle fans here, we have to wait till next year for Let It Be. Okay, we have to wait for that. But when Columbia or Sony Pictures Home Video announced this Columbia Classics 4K Ultra High Definition Collection Volume 1, that has my favorite movie of all time, Lawrence of Arabia, along with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Dr. Strangelove, Gandhi, A League of Their Own, and Jerry Maguire in new 4K UHD Blu-ray discs, new 4K transfers, Dolby Atmos sound in some of them. I had to get this, especially since a lot of these films are not available separately from the box set. So, I had to watch good old Lawrence of Arabia. I did a Blu-ray pick of the week of that back in 2018. It's on my channel here if you're browsing through. Lawrence of Arabia is my favorite film of all time, and David Lean quickly became easily one of my top 5 favorite filmmakers of all time. I love everything, even pre-Lawrence of Arabia, like Breaking the Sound Barrier and Brief Encounter. I love those films. Actually, Breaking the Sound Barrier was called that in the U.S. and England was called The Sound Barrier. Summertime with Katharine Hepburn. I love those films, but when he went to the epics, he went big. And Lawrence of Arabia, as I said in my video, this is the first real epic where an anti-hero was the main subject of a sprawling canvas. It's got the cast of thousands. It's got the 70mm photography. But at the heart of it is this character study of a flawed human being. I mean, at the end of the film, you question whether T.E. Lawrence is a hero, and you are thinking. The 4K UHD disc of this thing, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I never saw the movie in 70mm. I did see it in 4K projection at Harkins Tuesday Night Classics. Harkins, the local chain here in Arizona. I did see it at their Tuesday Night Classics back in 2018. It was important for me to see it on the big screen. And in 4K projection, it was beautiful. This is like the closest you're going to get to 70 millimeter at home. The Dolby Atmos track, I also streamed it as well. I took the streaming codes. Streaming is okay. The disc is a million times better. The detail that you see in the images and the robes, and this is Dolby Vision as well, so I watched it in Dolby Vision. It is just incredible. This is the closest, this and 2001 A Space Odyssey on 4K UHD disc are the closest you're probably going to get to 70 millimeter at home. This is like you're watching a beautiful new 70 millimeter print of the film. I think films photographed in 65 millimeter and presented in 70, they make a very good case for 4K UHD. I want more. I want Cleopatra. I want The Sound of Music. I want, so many good ones. David Lean's Ryan's Daughter, but that hasn't even come out on Blu-ray yet. So I want Patton. These great 65 millimeter, 70 millimeter titles I want on 4K UHD disc. They make a great case for the format. And the other one I watched in this set so far, the next one is going to be A League of Their Own. But the next one I watched was Richard Attenborough's Gandhi, another epic, another great film, another one that was presented in 70 millimeter. A lot of people tend to look down on the film because it beat E.T. at the Oscars. I mean, Spielberg held no ill feeling over Richard Attenborough because he turned Attenborough into an icon with Jurassic Park. Attenborough will be forever identified with directing Gandhi and forever uttering the words, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," because he was an actor as well. But Gandhi, I think, is an incredible film about an incredible man told on such a grand scale. The most number of extras in any given film. Let me say that again. The most number of extras in any given film. To this day, it holds the record. Come on, Marvel. You have these huge budgets. Can you give me a movie that doesn't have all CGI in the background and has a scene with 100,000 extras? The opening funeral scene of Gandhi has 400,000 extras in the scene. They did it on the day. They did the same pathway, and they went to radio, television, billboards everywhere in India to come. And they came. So when you look at, there is an establishing shot that has a matte painting or a still photo around everybody else that is moving, a long shot. But everything else, there is another shot. 400,000, the extras in that scene are not faked. Not faked. Ben Kingsley, in what was his first real major role as Mahatma, you can't tell the two apart. He morphs into Gandhi in the film. I think it's a great film. I like it, and I love E.T. as well. I could love both films for different reasons. Next up is Vincent Minnelli, starring Gene Kelly, An American in Paris. Some people are iffy about this. They go, Singing in the Rain is much better. But the ballet sequence in here, you cannot deny the ballet sequence in American in Paris. A true collaboration with Gene Kelly's photography, Gene Kelly's choreography, not photography. His choreography and Vincent Minnelli's direction and the camera work, the costumes, beautiful 3-strip Technicolor. You cannot beat this film. Gene Kelly, Vincent Minnelli, just for the ballet sequence alone, which was inspired by the ballet sequence in Paul Pressburger's The Red Shoes, by the way. If you haven't seen it, see it. In fact, every film that I'm showing you here, I encourage you to see. This just came out on Criterion. I talked about this in a post on Facebook, Scorsese shorts. And I like to give myself a pat on the back and say I may have been one of the people who suggested this. Several years ago, Criterion used to have a thing on their website to give them suggestions on what to put out on DVD or Blu-ray. I suggested the Martin Scorsese shorts. Now, these 3 of these originally came out on a laser disc called 3 by Scorsese. And basically, what this is his 2 documentary shorts, one that he did in 1974 about his parents called Italian American, one that he did in 1978 called American Boy, a profile of Stephen Prince, about Stephen Prince telling stories. If you want to know where Quentin Tarantino got the adrenaline shot story, he got it verbatim from this documentary short. It also has his 1967 avant-garde short that he did and got some award at a film festival, I don't know which one, called The Big Shave, where a young man walks into a white bathroom to the sounds of Bunny Berrigan doing I Can't Get Started, and proceeds to shave his face. And proceeds to get a nick here and a nick there to the point where his face becomes a bloody mess. And it also has his 2 NYU shorts. It's not just You, Murray, and What's a Nice Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This. I'm glad these are out. When you watch his student shorts, Scorsese really hasn't done much comedy. He's done dark comedy like After Hours, and Goodfellas has comedic moments, and Casino has comedic moments, but he's never done a real quote-unquote comedy, even a satirical comedy. These 2 NYU shorts are extremely funny. They're very funny. He even does a musical parody, and it's not just You, Murray, and he does a parody of Fellini's 8.5 at the end. And of course, Italian American and American Boy, I encourage you to see. So if you're a fan of Scorsese and you've wanted his shorts, you need to pick this up. I highly recommend it. Long overdue, and I think they should do the same with George Lucas's student shorts, because he was a much promising director when he was a student, and his first couple of films. 1917, if it wasn't... Now, 2 great films last year. Parasite in 1917. Parasite swept the Oscars, and I'm glad that Bong won. But Sam Mendes in 1917, this is such a major achievement. This is such a major achievement if you have not seen this yet. I love the fact I could not take my eyes off the screen. He did it. He made it appear as if it was all done in one shot, and there's a reason for that. You are discovering what is happening as the 2 characters are discovering it. And every time I watch it, it's a new surprise. So the cinematography, rightfully so, Roger Deakins, he won for Best Cinematography. Sam Mendes didn't get the Oscar for Best Director, but he won for American Beauty. So I'm not really upset because another great film actually won. But 1917 is a major achievement. If you've not seen it, like I said, you should see it. Last but not least, excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm not editing this, folks. Last but not least, people who know me know how obsessed I am with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I really haven't talked about it on my YouTube channel. And I'm not so much of a film snob that I don't love blockbusters. I love a good blockbuster. Back in the day, and I'm dating myself, I'm 47 years old, but the big epic films, I'd love to go see them in 70 millimeter, and if you got to see them in a THX Lucasfilm THX certified cinema, even better. But times change, and now you see these films on your premium large format screens. If you have a Regal Cinema near you, you're going to go see it. I think it's RDX they have. A Marcus Cinema has Ultra Screen. Cinemark has XD. AMC has the Dolby Cinema, which I love. And the local chain out here, Harkins, has their Cine Capri and their Cine One theaters. Avengers Endgame. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the reason why they got it right beginning with Iron Man. They kind of took a dip there with Thor Dark World in the middle, but you care about the damn characters. And when they got the Russo brothers involved in directing, it was just no holds barred. I mean, if you could get me to cry over Iron Man dying, Tony Stark dying, you did your job. So I was kind of offended when Martin Scorsese was saying, oh, these aren't cinema, and I haven't seen them. They are cinema, a different kind of cinema, but it is cinema. Yes, and also I have a love of the comics, too, from back in the day. And also, it's big, it's epic, it's big in scope, it's the cameras and lenses that they use are the modern day high def equivalent of Super Panavision 70. I never get tired. I haven't gotten tired of this. If you've seen the film, the moment where you hear the words "on your left," goosebumps in the movie theater. Goosebumps in the movie theater. On a personal note, I saw this twice within a week. Both my wife and I saw it, and then the following week we took our kids to go see it, and we took my father to go see it. I got my father into the Marvel universe. He was texting me when I was at work. Brian, I just got done watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh yeah, how'd you like it? Oh, what are we doing? So he was up to date by the time we went to go see Avengers Endgame. Last film he saw before he died. Last film he saw before he passed. So that's one thing I can't forget. But I am happy that my father got to see a hell of a movie his last day. What turned out, unfortunately, to be his last day. So, don't mean to bring the party down here, folks, but, that does make me happy that he saw a very good movie. So, that's what I've been watching. And if you'd like to hear somebody talk incoherently about what he loves, the Beatles, music, movies, physical media, occasionally something on musical theater. Haven't done that in a while, but there's some incredible channels out there on YouTube that sometimes I just don't feel, I'm worthy. But I am going to start talking about some things to get out of my comfort zone. So be prepared for my next video. Thank you so much. Bit long on this one, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon.